Good morning, everybody. So, first of all, let me thank Eshwar College and the management and my good friend Kannan for giving me an opportunity to stand in front of you and share my thoughts and some of my experiences. It's always, a great pleasure for me to come and be with all of you. I don't say this in every meeting where I go and talk. Really, I mean it. See, the people make all the difference. Okay, you may have excellent technology and fantastic gadgets and whatnot. Ultimately, we are all human beings, and we want to associate ourselves with a set of people whom you really value. So I sincerely value your management team. I think they need and they deserve a fantastic round of applause from all of you. They are doing you're all doing an excellent work, sir, and as a team, and I'm deeply touched, right? Continue to do that. And that's the differentiator that, I see with the Eshwar and rest of the colleges. So you are, in the making of a great script. It takes time. See, I correlate my own personal experience. In my previous company, when I was in Singapore, the MD CEO of Yokogawa, Tokyo, he shared his experience when he was a young manager, general manager in Tokyo. So this gentleman, he was given some money. At that time, it was in 1970s. He was given something like about $5 million, and he said that his boss, MD of Tokyo Yokogawa at that time, he said that go and put up a shop wherever you think it is appropriate. And then he went around the world. He was in Europe, he was in Americas. I'm talking about 1970s. Maybe even I was only a 3-year-old kid. And this gentleman, he visited this tiny little dot on the map, a place called Singapore. And then he was talking to a set of people, a young, ministers and IAS officers, and led by a gentleman team by name Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. So they came up, they just presented, this is where the highway is, this is the airport is, this is Changi, this is the PIE, this is the ECP, and this is where your factory is going to be. And then it will take only 5 minutes, 10 minutes for you to reach the factory from the airport, and all sorts of things. And then this MD of Yokogawa, who was the general manager at the time, he said that it's fine. Where are they? All those things. Then they said that it's all there in the map, sir. Right? It will come. This is what the answer they said. And then he said that this is where I'm going to put my money. Okay? Nothing was there. It was only there on the paper. But then he invested his money, and after 25 years, that's where I was there, when he was sharing it in the Silver Jubilee celebrations in Singapore. He said that that is the best decision that I have made in my life. I have invested my time and energy and effort in bringing up, Yokogawa in Singapore. Okay, I could draw a parallel with Sri Eshwar. Okay, I think you will also come up very, very big in future. I wish you all the very best. Okay. And I should also, he enlightened Udan Pirappe, right? That is how our Kalingar I'll call, right? Certain words are synonymous with certain people, right? When you say that Rattatin Rattame, right? You always will correlate with another personality. எனதருமை உடன்பிறப்புகளே. That goes with Mr. Karunanidhi. And Anbut Thambi is another udanpirappu, right? He brought it very nicely. And great people, they are the thoughts, that make them very different. This entire thing, the one which just the top of the mind recall when I looked at Karunanidhi, the inscription on his, the final resting place, that depicted that individual. ஓய்வின்றி உழைத்தவன் ஓய்வெடுத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறான். It's beautiful, right? These are the great minds. You may agree, you may disagree, you may like, you may not like what an individual is. Thoughts, they shape up. That is the one, which you as young people, and whatever be the age what we are in, thoughts are very, very powerful. So what kind of a thoughts that you inherit, that's very, very important. And we are standing now at the cusp of an industrial revolution. Anbuthambi talked about, the 3 industrial revolutions, and also he mentioned a very, very important point. Is the 4th industrial revolution has not happened. Whereas the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd one, people talked after it happened. Here, we are just in the beginning of it. He made a brilliant point there. So this is where, is the world of opportunities are waiting for you. You may call it as Industry 4.0, you may call it as Industrial IoT, and then, connected world and what not kind of a names you can give. So it's a great opportunity. It's a sea of opportunity, and you're all the young minds, right? See, my focus is to talk about, not about, a lot of jargons and bombastic things which I can, as well I can talk and leave you with, clueless about, yeah, it was sounding great, it's all fine, but what's that I'm going to do about it, right? I just want to give you some 1 or 2 simple examples with which you can start, right? So you can start doing things on your own. And I am also going to focus on, as job creators, I look at you people as employers, right, rather than employees. So that's the opportunity for you. So feel free to interact. I want to have it as a freewheeling conversation. Anytime, you can just raise your hand. Most welcome. Only the time I need to manage, right? I think that I will not eat so much into it. And is there any timekeeper there? You are there, no? I got 16 minutes, okay? So I'll catch up with the time, because what I want to leave is 1 or 2, 3 thoughts, and then I want to have some interactions with you, okay? So we are talking about a digital transformation. This is also a case study which, I have architected. This is happening here, right in India, in one of the oil and gas facilities, where they are trying to make it as a smart terminal. This is also an industrial IoT scenario. I'm not going to go into the details because it's echoing a lot. So every slide, it's close to reality. It's not a slide. What's happening? It's not moving. Slide is not moving. Sorry about it. So this is how, my talk is being structured. I'm just going to share some facts and figures about, what this Industry 4.0 is all about and what's happening, and the possibilities and the opportunities for the young talents. That's for you people. And a small 3-minute clip in what we are doing in our own factories, just to give you an idea about, what kind of possibilities that you can look at and just a simple summary. Just a glance about Robert Bosch Group. We are a 78 billion group. Again, Anbuthambi, he was asking about what is Robert Bosch. Is it a mechanical company or it is an IT company? I was just reminded of this famous Nayagan dialogue, right? He will say, finally, you'll ask, Nalavana, Ketavana, right? He will say, Yanake Therilapa, right? So, in today's world, there's a lot of disruption is happening. And jokes apart, within Robert Bosch, we are also looking at, are we a mechanical company or an IT company, right? So this is what every company is going through it. So we have been very, very happy when every car is being sold, because 60% of the components are from Bosch. So when Ford or BMW or whoever is going to be selling it, we are very happy because 60% of it is Bosch. But then when Google or Apple is going to be coming and saying that, this is what I am going to make, we are also worried, because in future, cars are going to be purchased based on the platforms, whether it's going to be an iOS or an Android. So that's the kind of way we are moving ahead. So are we really mechanical? Are we really, computer science? It's a blend. So that's a key message that you people have to take. You can't, differentiate yourself. I'm a pure, hardcore mechanical design engineer. So this is again, it has started to move from talk to action. A lot of benefits are being, achieved, and we are still seeing it. And the means to achieve, this is, a very recent survey from the CEOs, though it is with oil and gas, with various other, industries also, it's very close to this. Internet of Things, that's, the industry 4.0, that's the means to achieve. 82% of the CEOs, they are saying that, IIoT is the way to really achieve their things. And again, I just highlighted some of these things. There are no role models, and companies do not change, will disappear, and nobody has a full picture of what is coming. So these are all, the great leaders who are talking about it. So here is where, you have got a lot of opportunities. They are open now, right? When you really look at a company, people will not come and say out in the open saying that, I don't know what to do about it. So here is an opportunity for you. Please don't ignore any of your ideas as stupid ideas. There's no stupid idea. It may be a crazy thing, but it could be one of those brilliant ideas that you may really, bump onto. So please hold on to that, right? Don't really criticize and then say that, hey, no, yaar, who is going to buy this, what it is going to be. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is stupid. That's the kind of an opportunity for you. And our own, CEO, what he says, we believe in open platforms, in open standards, in open source and strategic alliances. So please, whenever you are going to design a system, look at all these things very, very carefully. Please don't be married to a particular kind of a technology, because that's not going to be the way forward. And then he is also saying that no single company will be able to do this alone. And we have built our own startup ecosystem. I just looked at that Ignite, what you have it here, very similar to that we have in our Bosch Germany, where we invite young talents, school kids to come and then share their thoughts and ideas, and we promote them to get into startup companies. We invest. So that's that important, Bosch, we are looking at it. And then, see, predictive organizations. This is what, I'm just introducing some of the terminologies, this is how, organizations are looking at it. See, on the one, what you see here, the cost, the production inventory, costs and benefits, this, if you look at in 1920s or in the 1800s or going forward, it is not going to change. It all will be the same. But what is important is, just see what that Einstein has said. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. That's the key issue, right? Those problems have been created in the last many years, and people who are trying to solve them are still again looking at those constraints. We want some kind of a fresh kind of a thinking to come in. See, I want to really look at it, it should be a business enabler. It should be a transforming role of IT. This is where the mechanical and IT, all those kind of a marriage, it is happening. Can you just play this video? See, this is a small clip, you know, it's about 3 minutes, just to give you, you know, a simple way of getting started. This is happening in one of our companies, Bosch Rexroth. A very simple one we have taken. I have purposefully taken a very simple one and calculating how we calculate an overall equipment efficiency and production efficiency. It's a small clip, please watch. These are all
Overall
available in
equipment
the YouTube.
effectiveness, or OEE, is a metric used to determine how well your operations are running. It is broken up into 3 separate but measurable factors: availability, quality, and performance. They are multiplied together to calculate your OEE. In this video, we will focus on calculating availability, as well as the types of deviations that cause an imperfect availability factor. Availability is defined as net operating time divided by planned operating time. At perfect production levels, your net and planned operating time should be equal. However, this is rarely the case. Therefore, you must determine the source of the deviations in operating time. Deviations could be caused by events such as lack of personnel, idle run, defective materials, technical malfunctions, lack of information, and many more. Let's now look at an example where lack of information resulted in a deviation in the availability factor. In example 1, the operator for Company A's packaging department realizes that before she can begin her work, she must locate the correct instructions. While she is gone, the machine is idle, and therefore, available time is being lost. The operator originally planned for 80 minutes of production time. However, because of the missing instructions, actual net operating time was 65 minutes, meaning 15 minutes of available time was lost due to this information-based deviation. Returning to the previously discussed formula, the availability factor is found by dividing net operating time by planned operating time. Plugging in the net and planned operating time for this example, we calculate the availability factor as 81.25%. In this case, the information-based deviation resulted in a waste of operating time. This caused a low availability factor, which led to a decreased OEE. This is just one example as to how a deviation in operating time can impact your availability factor and therefore OEE. Let's look at a second example. Here, the deviation is caused by a machine malfunction. The operator monitors the production of units, making sure they are correct and are sent to the shipping department. However, the conveyor that moves the units is faulty and breaks down numerous times during production. These frequent breakdowns halt production. Therefore, the operator must hurry and fix the conveyor since production cannot continue until the boxes are received by the shipping department. All the while, available time is being lost. Although the planned operating time was 80 minutes, the net operating time was actually only 70 minutes due to the machine malfunction. Therefore, 10 minutes of available time was lost. Once again, we look at the original formula for calculating the availability factor. With 70 minutes of net operating time and 80 minutes of planned operating time, the availability factor in this example is 87.5%. In this scenario, the machine malfunction led to wasted operating time. This caused a low availability factor and resulted in a decreased overall equipment effectiveness.
Yeah, so this is a very simple example. See, your entire, cyber physical system, and then, humanless operations, artificial intelligence and whatnot you're going to talk about, finally it is going to result with, what you're going to live with in terms of machines and how you're going to design those machines so that that's going to be intelligent, that can run, and it can self-detect, it can auto-correct, and it can do things, right, remote without any human intervention. But we are just starting, and this is a live case where we are trying to see that how we can improve our overall equipment efficiency, how the sensors can come into picture, how Internet of Things can help to put this information, the data can be captured, the machine learning can happen, and then you can put some data science behind that and then work on cognitive intelligence, artificial intelligence, and then you go in for data models, you go in for cyber physical systems, and then it can be, auto-correcting mechanisms and so on and so forth. This is just a teaser for you people, because when you're going to begin, when you're going to start, you need to make a small step and taste some successes, so that you feel comfortable, right? Oh, I have done it. It could be a very small thing, right? So I just purposefully picked up a very small example, rather than going in for a artificial intelligence and data model and then come and talk for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you'll say wow, and then where to start. So these kind of things could be your good starting points. And when you are going to design your systems, please always think that you will have cybersecurity concerns, because you're going to design a product which is going to be intelligent. So it can help somebody to hack into your corporate network. So you have to be very, very aware of that when you're going to design a product. Number one, it has to be intelligent and it has to be secure. The second one is how you're going to deal with the legacy systems. You can't just replace the entire thing. Somebody will still love to have his old car, ambassador car, for whatever reasons. So that's the situation you will enter in. You need to design systems which will coexist with the old, right? And then this is the great opportunity for you. There is no ready-made cookbook available. That means a lot of open space. That's why I said that don't be cynical, don't be critical about, is my idea is good or is it stupid and all those things. Let it be stupid, Just think there's nothing wrong. All life is an experiment, right? Well, obviously you'll have a question, right? What's in it for me? That's a fair question. The fundamental need is a paradigm shift. When you look at this movie, it has created, such an awesome feeling into everybody. It's just a simple movie, right? It's just a fantasy. But then, the entire team took this fantasy to great heights. With old thinking, right? It's very, very difficult. My friend showed me a movie clip, right? And you just compare for yourself. If you put the same people who made that movie and ask them to make this movie, do you think they can ever think like this, right? That's where you people can make that difference, right? Come with fresh ideas. You be those Bahubalis, right? And this is again a great man, what he has said. You can just read for yourself. Have courage to think differently. Invent, unexplored path, discover the impossible. And these are the great qualities that they must work towards. This is my message to the young people. And another thing which I really want to emphasize is, you become job generators. Please don't be job seekers, right? So much of things are available. Don't be looking at which company is coming to my campus to hire me, Brand is not going to matter at all. Again, Anbuthambi said that, we are worried. I'm telling you, Bosch, we are worried. Brand is not going to sell anymore. So, you could be those brand. Create your own brands. These are some examples, okay? Just look at it, he's an 80-year-old boy. He's the world's youngest CEO. That's a 14-year-old girl. It is, from Chennai. Some of you might have seen it, or you can just go and look at it. And this guy, Sundar Pichai, it's not easy to become a CEO even in India, in an Indian company. And he has scaled the great heights. Let these people be your role models, not the brands, okay? What made them different? That is what you should be really looking at it. So this is my last slide. I'm sincerely wishing you good luck. I'm also realistic. Not all these 100 people, I expect them to be CEOs, but at least a handful of them. If you can become those CEOs, I'll be very, very happy, right? Thank you very much.